All right, I'm here in Cuba. Well, actually, I'm at the Gardens of the Queen exhibit, and I'm Dr. David Guggenheim and Luisa Sacerdote. Do that right? Okay. Tell us a little bit about diving in Cuban at the Gardens of the Queen.
Well, Gardens of the Queen is a spectacular area. It was named by Christopher Columbus 500 years ago to honor Queen Isabel of Spain.
Okay.
And it's one of these places that is probably still as beautiful today as it was 500 years ago when Columbus first saw it. And that's pretty remarkable given what has happened to coral reefs in the Caribbean.
Or the rest of the world.
And the rest of the world, for that matter. It's an oasis somehow, partly due to the way Cuba has developed, partly due to their policies. And this is part of one of the largest protected areas in the Caribbean. My organization is Ocean Doctor, and our program, Cuba Conservancy, we've been working in Cuba for 12 years and doing scientific research. And thanks to the fact that we can now get licenses for educational travel for American travelers to Cuba, we're working with Avalon, which is the Cuban diving
May I have your attention?
Oh, nice overhead speakers. Well, while they're doing the overhead speaker thing, let's just talk about the program. How would they, as an American, they would contact your website to get to find out how they can go abroad to do these educational trips?
Yes.
Again, if you want to learn more,
she's just going to go on forever and talk.
Visit oceandoctor.org/gardens.
Okay.
And that will give you the basic information, and there's also a form where you can submit a pre-application. There's no obligation, it's just to register. That puts us in communication. We'll be establishing dates for 2013 and 2014 shortly.
So you're doing it for real far out, or well, I guess 13th's around the corner.
You know, it all depends how quickly the licenses come through and the paperwork comes through on the Cuban side. Nothing working in Cuba is very easy, but once it works, it's beautiful.
And it's nice to go legitimately.
Exactly. I mean, if you're a dive shop operator, for example, you want to bring your people down to Cuba, you don't want to encourage your people to go sneak through Mexico or Canada, though many divers do that on their own. If you want a legitimate group, and this is a real educational experience, and I'm certainly a believer that divers love to learn. This is a trip where you would meet Cuban researchers that we've been working with for years to learn firsthand about the research, about the significance of these areas and what's being done in terms of conservation.
So they're almost a marine biologist by the time they get back.
Yeah, we'll make sure everybody's got a PhD after their name.
PhD. See, I was just going for the master's, but PhD works. And then it's a or actually a week to 2 week trip. You would say to go to see this, because it's at least 10 days, because it's 5 hours by car and then 5 hours by boat just to get to this perfect spot.
Exactly.
I wonder how long it took Columbus to get out to that spot.
Maybe a little longer.
Okay.
He came the long way.
But he had his own boat.
That's true. He had a few of them.
3 of them.
Yeah,
backup. Well, that's good to know. Well,
and it's the idea is that you would spend some time in Havana as well, where with the University of Havana, meet some of our partners there, and then move on to Gardens of the Queen.
It sounds exciting. I mean, if you want an educational dive trip, can't think of a better one offhand.
Yeah, it's education at 2 levels. One is dealing with the plight of coral reefs, and also learning about Cuba and some of the best scientists in the world who are so close yet so far from us here in the United States.
Right. Well, thank you very much for your time.